In the Mimic's Veil tonight, we discuss Jotunnslayer, Hordes of Hel, the newly revealed Switch 2, a little chat about 9 Sols, but we kick off proceedings with some Neva.
If my eyes do look a little bit puffy, I have literally just finished Neva. A game I'd been putting off because I didn't think I was emotionally stable enough to play it.
Yeah,
I probably should have kept putting that off.
Yeah.
But what a lovely game. Like, it's beautiful. The soundtrack is stunning. And it doesn't overstay its welcome. I think if the game was any longer, I think you'd be a bit like, oh, am I still going on with this? But it's structured really. So 4 hours.
That's good.
like an hour per season, roughly, is it?
Roughly, yeah, but it only really, it doesn't quite do it like that. So the first season's like an hour, and then it kind of one's a wee bit longer, and then they go a wee bit shorter, like towards the end. So you do kind of, it is in like hour chunks, but not necessarily the seasons fitting into that hour. Right. But it was quite nice. Like, I think if I'd have played this for half an hour and stopped, I'm not sure I would have gone back to it.
Mm. That's exactly what happened with me. I played the first season of it and haven't got back to it.
Because I feel like the first season's probably the slowest. In terms of, it doesn't do a lot, and as you go and you develop, and I think it's very good as the seasons pass and the chapters pass, it like gives you like a different type of platforming challenge. It kind of changes what you're doing, it changes the combat up a little bit, it keeps it all fresh, and it's basically a different idea in each bit of the game, whether it goes from like different ways of getting through walls or different ways of doing combat, like using Neva as Neva grows and the different things that Neva can then do for you and all that side of things. It's very clever in how it does that, and I think it stops at the right time. And
we should say Neva. So Neva is the like dog, wolfy, deer kind of creature, and so that's your companion throughout. Yeah, and it's basically a 2D puzzle platformer. Would you say? There's combat as well, isn't there?
Puzzle platformer. Yeah, there is a bit of combat in it. And the combat is using Neva and yourself with like it's not a sword, but it's kind of more like it is a sword, but it's like a fence. What's the thing you use in fencing?
What are they called? What's that word? Rapier?
It's more like a rapier type thing. Yeah, it's more rapier. Sorry, Mark, calm down. But
what were you going to say, Lewis?
It was different from, because it's Nomada Studios who done Gris.
Sorry, what?
Gris.
Gree. Oh, do you want to say it?
Greeth.
That's the one.
Greeth.
There's no combat in that at all.
No, not much of anything
combat
really.
In this.
No, it was lovely.
I've never played Gristle. But it more reminded me of Planet Alana. I think because you're going with that kind of puzzle platformer companion type thing. But it's better than Planet Alana. I think Planet Alana, by the end of it, overstayed its welcome. I think this one got the pacing right. It got the length right. It just did it all right, and I think it looks so stunning, and it just sounds so beautiful, which you've hopefully heard at the intro to this episode. But yeah, I'd highly recommend this. I'm glad I played it, but yeah, it will potentially bring a little tear to the eye.
Yeah, that's why I stopped. I think I appreciated the extra bit of like gameplay that they'd added on top of their previous game, because I found Greeth a little bit nothingy. Like great presentation, but not much else. Whereas this does all of that, even ramps that up a little bit, but also adds some actual fun elements to it. Like a couple of I think the boss battle I did was like, I died a couple of times to start with, so like trying to figure it out, which was, just made it a lot more fun. But yeah, the emotional gut punch of it. It just you've just even throughout just that first season, and the season is just a chapter basically. But it was like, I don't like these little bits where the dog goes off, and I'm like, oh shit, the dog's gone. Need to find it, And it's I didn't feel emotionally stable enough to play it at all. So maybe I will. But yeah, so it's such a beautiful game. Like, it's
gorgeous.
It's so stunning to look at.
And like each season's like a different colour palette. So it does move with the seasons in terms of, and then there's like some of it in the different bits again, it's all monochrome, and then there's other bits where it kind of just goes into a red tinge, and like every way it's done, and the lighting on top of that and everything, it's stunning, absolutely stunning.
What do you reckon? Like, if you were rating out of 10, because literally you've just come fresh from finishing it, where would you sit now? Like,
I'd probably give it about 8.5, maybe 9.
Okay.
Like I think it really did. I think
even a 9.
What it delivered. I don't know if I'd quite go to a 9, but certainly an 8.5, an 8.5. Very, very good. And even the combat's quite satisfying. Like, it's quite on point. Like the dodging and as you kind of then get further in, you start using Neva within your combat as well. Like the variety in there really. It's a well designed game.
Yeah, solid.
Is it like Greece where there's almost like a hub area?
No, you never really stop. Like you're kind of, it's all set within this one forest essentially.
Ah, okay.
And you're going through and you're traversing through this forest, and then there's like maybe different ruins and stuff that you come across. I think. But it's you don't, like, it's the chapters start from where you finish type thing. So there's no like going back to a central place or anything. You will go back past places that you've already been, but there's no hub or anything like that.
There's some sort of upgrades, isn't there, as well? If I remember right, is there anything you can upgrade your attacks, or is there some sort of little skill tree or something? Got a vague memory of that.
I don't think it. No. Okay. You get those collectibles and stuff, like there's different collectibles and things to find, but there's no.
But does your Neva do they get?
They get
every
stronger.
season they get bigger and stronger, basically. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
so then it gets to the stage from where you can use them within your attacks or to like break stuff to the stage where you can ride them.
Right.
Like so. Moves through the stages as Neva gets bigger, essentially.
I like that. Lewis, you seem interested in this one.
I'm interested in it. It looks nice because I enjoyed Gris. I've always called it Gris. I know that's not how you meant to pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it, right? Gris. Just like Gristle, like what Alex said. And that was one that I got and played purely on how it looked.
Yeah.
And I played it for a couple hours. That's again like a 4 hour long game. Got to a certain point, stopped and didn't play it for 2 years. So it's interesting. I think it's maybe the lack of combat. But interesting you saying that the combat in this is how it is. Would maybe make me want to continue playing it. I did end up going back and finishing the first game, but yeah, it does look interesting. Is it one that you wanted to keep on, like what you wanted to go back to, that you wanted to sort of finish off?
I've played it all today, so.
Oh wow!
God damn!
So because I had time to sit and start it this afternoon, I'd played probably about half of it in one sitting. So I'm like, well, I then just kind of kept going with it, and I just had a little bit left to finish. So
Nice. That's the way to do it. Maybe it is a one sitting jobbo.
I would say if you can do it in one sitting, I would do it in one sitting, is kind of what I said. Like, if I had stopped early on, I don't necessarily think I would have come back to it because I didn't have a great impression at the beginning. I thought this is a bit generic and a bit boring, but it definitely ramped up a bit.
Yeah. Lewis, when you were talking about Grizzle, it reminded me. I was trying to think. Yeah, I didn't come away with a positive impression of that. I played that on the train up to Scotland a few years ago, and I finished it while I was in Scotland, and I came away with it was okay, but nothing special. I also did the same thing with Thank Goodness You're Here. Do you remember? I finished that in Scotland when I was on holiday last year. So I'm wondering,
Scotland issue.
maybe it's a Scotland issue rather than the games. Maybe it just...
Because you've come up here and been like, wow, actual culture.
Wow, I could go outside if I wanted to. And not get stabbed. Yeah.
Well, depending on where you go.
Well, yeah. If I open my mouth, I'll get stabbed.
Definitely.
But that's everywhere. Just remember
But you played
that was...
Zero Mission?
Yeah, that's true. But I played that coming back from Scotland. So
did you?
I was happy. Yeah. But good point actually. Yeah. Anyway, that's yeah.
It is, but see this Nomada studio, they've got, see the art style, they have just got it on point. It is bloody gorgeous.
Can we have a likening? Can we have a Lewis's likening?
Yeah, have a Lewis's likening right now. And I'm not going to say it looks like Greece, because it looks to me, I did actually get a hint of something when I was, watching the video. A little hint, a little soupçon of, it's not a game, it's a film. Studio Ghibli film. No Face thing.
Princess Mononoke?
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But it just looks so nice. Maybe a little bit of 1970s animal horror film Watership Down about it.
God. That terrified me as a child.
It's been re-released this year.
Has it?
Yeah.
What, like remastered or...
remastering it to traumatise a whole new generation of children. There is no chance I'm showing my kids that film. I've seen it once when I was in my teens and that was enough.
I can still picture like the myxomatosis and the like bleeding eyes and horrible stuff. Never watched Watership Down. Yeah. I'll go back to Neva at some point.
Yeah, I think you should.
When I get that urge for just want a little cry. Just,
It'll help you along.
have some tissues on hand. As I always do when gaming.
Yeah, the game do you play? Is it bus safe? No. Give me the tissues.
Fetch me the tissues. I'm playing some Stellar Blade tonight.
Stace, don't come in here.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Right. Well, we don't often do news, do we?
Yes.
We don't often chat about news. We just chat about games and games and games and games. But we are recording this the day after the official reveal of the Switch 2.
We are.
So that'd be quite nice to talk about as a little change.
But we don't do
Our
news,
thoughts
so
and
let's
feelings.
what have you been playing, Ben?
What are you looking forward to playing on the Switch 2? But yeah, what was your kind of what was your initial take on that, Lewis? Because you, like me, did a full media blackout and didn't deliberately avoided any leaks, and
No matter how many links Tyler put into the chat, I didn't click on any of them.
no matter how many times we went, I'm trying to avoid them leaks. Yeah. I think we both stayed pretty leak free, which at our age is something.
It's
But
Extra enemy this week.
we were all kind of discussing about how it was going to be released. We're like, it's going to be 1 o'clock today, or it's going to be announced at 2 for it to be a live presentation, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think maybe Laurie mentioned it just being a tweet. I'm like, nah, it's fucking rubbish, Laurie. It's not just going to be a tweet. It's going to be, they're going to make a big deal of this. So yeah, it was like a tweet and a blog post. And because I try to be PlayStation.
Yep.
But it looks, it looks sexy. Sexy little Switch.
Sexy.
I mean, it was
Switch.
so well done. Like, see, in terms of taking that OG Switch and how they then turned it into the Switch 2 in that video. I mean, like, it was so well done. Like,
It
just
was really
watching
well
all
done.
the features like extend and colour and like they knew what they were doing there. And even like that kind of tease of the mouse, like as the Joy-Con rolled around, and like I still have no fucking clue what you would use a mouse for in a Switch, but I mean it's Nintendo, so it must be Mario Paint 2. I mean,
what the world has been clamouring for.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about this. Although I was told today, like, you're not getting a Switch 2. Why do you need a Switch 2? I'm like,
Who said
getting a
that?
Switch 2. My husband said, you're not getting a Switch 2. I'm like,
Don't
I'm
even-
getting a Switch 2. Like,
It's not even a conversation in this house.
no, it's not.
Like,
It'll be
it will arrive.
on the day
The
of
kids will
release.
notice, and then that will be it. And then maybe 2 months down the line, what is that? It's the new Switch. I really like the look of it, and the presentation. I thought was really. Have either of you two done any Labo?
No.
Which makes it sound like a drug, doesn't it? Have you ever
Done a Labo?
experimented with Labo in your time? But the
Been near Labo?
okay, close enough. But you never inhaled.
No.
No.
I did not.
More of that on Chinpat, our Patreon podcast.
£1 a month.
Yeah, £1 a month. If you like this podcast and you'd like to support us, because we always make a joke of it, we never actually ask people seriously. If you like this, you can get more of this at patreon.com/The Mimics Fail.
Yes.
It's like this, but even less on topic,
Yeah.
I would say. Anywho, Chimbat. What does it mean? Listen to episode 1 of Chimbat.
Episode 1.
So yeah, I thought it was really Labo-esque the way it was all presented, and everything sort of clicking in together, and the little like
nice did that look?
sploosh of coloured paint and things like that. It just
The way the Joy-Cons
really
go
well
in. I like it.
and then
With
it
the
claps. The snap has graduated to a clap now.
Clap. There's more than
Yeah.
one person clicking, so it's never clap.
Yep.
Yeah, that was so right. I was thinking like, that seems like flimsy, but it must be some pretty strong magnets or something there.
Some like new some like extra strong new magnetism technology or something.
That looks so nice.
Yeah. They've reinvented magnetism. Just for the
Yeah,
Switch.
basically it's something
Magnets, they're back.
magnetic mouse.
Yeah. Again, what if it's all but confirmed that that's what it is, right? The mouse
think
and
so,
the
yeah.
Joy-Con. Like, I know they didn't outright say, "Yeah, this is going to be a mouse," but
But the way they showed them go round, why else would they do
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Like,
and I
don't
think
get it though.
I was thinking about that, and I think there is an argument for. We have obviously been brought up with controllers being our main method of playing games, but I do think as PCs and stuff have become more prominent in games like Minecraft and like even like Roblox and Fortnite, you can play with mouse and keyboard. I think kids are more mouse centric now when it comes to games than we
I
are.
think it'll come my keyboard as well.
Maybe, but yeah. So I don't know. I think it's almost like it will either be for some batshit crazy reason that they'll use in one launch game and it will never get used again, like Mario Paint 2 or something ridiculous like that, or it's like, okay, well, seems to be, we want to get the youth on board. This seems to be, we're losing a bit of market share to the PC market, so let's give them this control scheme that they are familiar with. I don't know, something like that.
Can you
But
imagine holding a mouse like that?
I don't know.
An ergonomically correct mouse. It's the ones that are like weird.
Oh, is that? Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Even
Actually,
like that, like it's basically you're gonna hold it like that when Stephen said.
Yeah, that's be daft.
I know for audio, this is an audio podcast, so that would have been I was holding up my phone like sideways and saying
Sideways.
basically.
yeah. Well, let me grab an actual Joy-Con and see what that feels like.
To hand. Look at that. He's just bending a little bit out of the screen there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's no less comfortable than holding it. No, but remember the new ones are bigger. So I think it's doable.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
It looks like a premium bit of kit.
It does. It looks a lot less
like the adult
toyish.
version.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like Switch After Dark.
It's grown up. Do you think there'll be a big number 2? The actual number, not a jobby. On the dock.
Down.
I think they showed the dock and something. It does have.
Yeah, but it had like a Switch 2 on it.
Yeah, there is a 2 on it, isn't there?
But do you think that's actually what it's going to be like?
Yeah.
Or is that... Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I like it.
That's a logo.
Yeah. Because Nintendo, I saw a bit of backlash that, it's really sad that Nintendo, the innovators, have just followed this trend of just iterating on hardware and stuff. And yes, they are, but that's surely the right decision for a business that we want to succeed. Like, they would be mental to go, this really successful thing, fuck that. We're just going to do something else now that nobody...
Here's a Wii 3.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah.
And there's 2 USB-C ports, one at the top, one at the bottom.
So you can go in the top or the bottom. What do you?
But why?
All the side.
I like it. When do you think it's coming out?
End of May, early June.
That seems to be the consensus.
Just in time for my birthday. Well, if it's late May, then it is.
I mean, because you've got 2nd of April was... 2nd of April, you've got the Direct to tell you more about the games and the console itself.
Yeah.
And then they're doing that hands-on thing the week after that, basically, or about 10 days after that.
Yeah.
So they're ready to go and show at that point. So you're thinking, well, if pre-orders open the 2nd of April, I think you give it 6 to 8 weeks from then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though it did leak, they've done a pretty good job at keeping it under wraps for so long, if it is this close to launch.
Yeah. Yeah, because the leaks have only I know there's been loads of them, but they've only really started bubbling up the last couple of weeks.
Really.
Yeah. So, yeah, not a bad job.
I also don't think that's ended up pulling it forward a little bit. I don't think they anticipated doing this until early March. And the reason I say that is because when they put out a press release yesterday and it came up and and they'd updated all the actual press release and all the dates and everything in the press release were right, but do you know how you put that little, like when you're posting something, you put that little description in it that will be like the underneath the name of the article.
Yeah, like that alt text sort of, or the meta tags.
It said, and following with a Direct next month. Still said in there.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So either Direct was supposed to come in February and they were doing it, releasing it earlier, or they were going to do that bit in March for the April to come and make it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. It's so funny that it's the most Nintendo thing ever for us to have still no real details. We just know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no if Xbox and PlayStation, we're so used to them going, and it can do this and it can do that and these big numbers and everything else, and Nintendo's just like, here's what it looks like. Yeah. Not even telling you the actual size. yeah. It's pretty good because all of this speculation helps them. Like the fact that we're talking about it, it's like, it's part of the fun.
I mean, those details are somewhat irrelevant because people are going to buy it no matter what it does. Like, people just want a more powerful Switch, and that is exactly what it's
hopefully it is.
Well, yeah.
We don't
it's
know.
the same processor as the Switch.
I mean, Mario Kart, whatever Mario Kart they showed, doesn't look like, it's not exactly, real life graphics now, is it? It just looks like Mario Kart again.
That's all we want. But you've got to think, this has to be potentially the last console that the likes of Miyamoto will be involved in any games for. I mean, pushing 70, if not already 70 now.
Yep.
He's surely going to retire at some point. Very sad if that's the case. I just googled Nintendo Switch 2. Scroll down, and there's a link here to Reddit, the Nintendo Reddit site. It says, analysts say Nintendo Switch 2 won't outsell the original. Well, I don't think anyone...
Wow. We could become analysts.
We could be analysts. I don't think anyone's expecting it to really, considering it's, at this point, the second highest selling console ever.
Yep. That was the first of its kind on the market, which has now been flooded with similar devices, which propped up the video game industry during a pandemic. It's obviously not going to do anywhere near those numbers. However, I was thinking this, I'm more hyped for this than I was for the first Switch, I would say. Which seems crazy to say, but I didn't know. I wasn't really playing games before the first Switch came out. I just saw it, thought, that looks cool. Pre-order that, forget about it. And then obviously the love of games came back, and I met you guys, and the rest is history. Whereas this one, it's like, this looks fucking cool. This is what I want. This is brilliant. I can't wait. It's nice. It's a nice feeling to have.
I look forward
I don't have that feeling.
No?
No.
I don't know why though, because I love a new tech launch, and I'm like, I know when it comes near it. I think I need to know. I need more details. I'm more a details person. I like all that shit. I want to know what random things it does, and I want to know what games it's going to play, and I want to know if they're going to put an achievement system in it, and I want to know if the I want to know the little bits.
The games one is a very important one, isn't it? That will seal the deal for most people, I think.
Will there be an achievement thing?
I hope so.
I
doubt it though. I don't.
I doubt it as well.
Yeah, I don't think there will be, purely because if there is, I think they will have to keep it right. This is just for Switch 2 software moving forward. There's no way they can go back and say, right, need to put patch achievements into every Switch game and
imagine that
stuff like that.
Imagine, Ben, they do that patch, and you turn your Switch on, and it just pops a chat achievements for like
hours.
2
days. That'd be amazing. Yeah, I going off topic here slightly, but I do think achievement systems, particularly PlayStation's one, does give you a reason to go back to games that you've played and finished. And I think
I tend to agree.
I'd like
for how much I disagree with them. It does make you want to play that a little bit longer, even though they're fucking rubbish. Like I had Platinum Astrobot, and I still had 2 things to do. Like absolute baloney.
Yeah, but no, so you're hyped. You're with me, Lewis. You're hyped.
Yes.
That's good. Day one, all round?
Yes.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me, though, is we might get episode 18 of NX.
That's yeah. We live in hope. Did they stop at 17?
They did, yeah.
NX2.
I just checked before, so I got my facts straight. Still subscribed. Episode, there you go, look.
Just waiting, hoping.
Come on, guys.
Rename it the Nintendo Switch 2 podcast. Think
numbers.
of the extra listeners you'll get.
Those numbers. Oh, my goodness.
Come on, guys.
Why don't we rename this podcast the Nintendo Switch 2 podcast?
Yep.
Because I'm not talking about Nintendo shit.
Yeah. Be like, we'll get thousands of new listeners and then go, what? Why are they pretending to be in a pub? Alex, I love...
How do I know that? Because they never reference it.
That's what made me laugh about your Blue Sky post the other day, Alex, when you were like... it was just... I found it so funny. You're just like, listen to 3 friends pretending to be in a pub. We literally never do that.
We don't. Maybe that's the whole premise of it.
It's like the loosest possible concept that we never reference at all. Oh, it just really tickled me. Love it.
But then maybe it's more of a concept because I don't think any other podcast they go, but where are we? Pub?
Yeah, you'll never know. Very quiet pub we're in. Very quiet.
It's a lock-in.
Posh one.
Yeah. Posh pubs. Yes. Any closing thoughts on Switch 2?
No. Just
Show
more
me
information required.
Can't bloody wait. Can't bloody wait.
Can't bloody wait for it. It'll be fucking great.
Add more to the backlog. Mm-hmm. And Alex and I have been good little boys. We followed on from our conversation last week where we spoke about making lists. Alex has got himself a remarkable two as well.
Just to make the list.
Just for the job. And yeah, we've got our lists together. And I feel good about that. I feel like... And I still haven't bought any games so far this year.
You knew that.
No. Lewis, you?
No games.
No games? Good.
Apologies for the noise there. I was just getting the Remarkable 1 out. Just in case I had to take any notes.
The prototype. Classic.
You see there's a new one though.
Remarkable
Yeah,
Pro.
the Pro.
Remarkable Pro.
Colour. Full colour.
Oh, is it in colour? Didn't know that.
Yeah. Needless distraction, if you ask me. Who needs these fancy devices? But yeah, so we made our list, and top of my list was a little game called 9 Sols.
If anyone listening to this is wondering what list they're talking about, you're not alone.
Have you not seen the list?
What list?
The list that Alex and I made.
No.
No? I thought we put them in Discord, didn't we?
Oh, Discord? Who's reading that?
Get in Discord. Lewis.
They were definitely on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
I don't read.
This guy doesn't give a fuck about us, does he?
Unless it's said to be directly.
We're not your friends to take to the pizza restaurant.
Yeah. Well, that makes this revelation makes me all the more happy that I've gone through and not only have I made a list, I've put an asterisk next to every game that I think if I finish it, I think it'll piss Lewis off. So now you know. So I'm prioritising those games. That will be my my method is right. Looking at the list, going, will Lewis be annoyed if I finish this before him? Yes.
Yes,
I'm going to play that. Yeah.
You're
so
wrong
top of
with
that
one of them,
list.
so I'll let you figure out what one that is.
He's found the list. Yeah. So 9 Sols ticked all those boxes for me. It was like, yep, game I want to play, game I already own, and a game that Lewis will be annoyed with if I finish it before him. And lo and behold, I have finished it.
Have you really?
Yeah. You know that.
I don't know that.
You did know that. I told you. Didn't I?
No.
Or did I just allude to it?
You ticked the box. I didn't realise you'd actually finished
There
it.
was certainly allusion. There was certainly some alluding to it. We just did not confirm.
I was actually, because you ticked it, I was like, he's just done that to be funny. Because I was like, in my head, like, 9 Sols is far too difficult a game for Ben to play.
Oh, wow. But no.
But you can
I did finish it.
difficulty though, can't you?
Yeah, so I played it on story mode, if that makes you feel any better.
Oh, no, it doesn't. No, because I'm above that.
Okay. So you still feel bad that I finished the game. Yeah, and I thought, rather than... this is how much of a bastard I am. Rather than telling you this just outright here and now and surprising you with it, because I think if I'd have done that, I think you would have just responded quite politely and have just gone, oh, right, great, yeah, tell us more. Whereas now you've had a couple of days to stew on this information and, you know, to worry. Has he finished it? Well, yeah, I have. And it's thoroughly good. And obviously I'm only joking about... Well, I'm not fully joking.
It's story mode.
It's nice to wind you up. But, yeah, I really like it. I was really I'm quite high in it. I'd give it maybe a 4 out of 5. I think on GG,
really?
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
That's interesting you say story mode, because I forgot that was the case. Because it's getting to a point now where I'm just like, it is so difficult to get the parries.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think I might drop it down.
I would say
enjoy
it's
the
more
story.
than challenging enough on story mode. Like,
Oh, really?
several of the bosses took me a good few attempts even on story mode. But the boss battles are so good. Like, so good. Really, it's just really well crafted. Like, everything about it feels just lovely.
How long did it take you?
So I actually played the bulk of it on 2 12-hour plane journeys, basically.
Ah, okay.
So obviously I wasn't playing for the full 12 hours on those journeys, but I reckon 20 early 20s maybe,
Okay.
something like that. Yeah, which isn't too bad, but it just got to a point where I was, sometimes in Metroidvanias you can feel a bit like you get to a point and the story slows down and the world opens up a little bit, and then you're just like, well, I've just got no idea what I'm supposed to do next.
Yeah.
I felt this was opposite. I felt it got more, not linear, but more like, all right, cool, done this bit. Great, now I know the rhythm. I know where the next boss is, what biome they're going to be in, and I can just go there. And it felt like it got faster paced as it went on,
Okay.
which I'd much prefer. So it starts off sort of slow and you're a few hours between bosses, but then it really kind of rattles through in the second half, I thought.
Okay.
Maybe that's because you've obviously got more abilities unlocked and things, and you're more powerful and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought it was paced really, really nicely, and I didn't get that same Metroidvania where am I supposed to go kind of thing. It was it was almost like Metroid Dread in that respect. I remember that being like, it just rattled along. I just knew, okay, go here next, go there next. Yeah, and there was very little of that, oh, I'm at a door that I don't know how to unlock kind of thing. Didn't get much of that frustration of like, oh, I need to make a mental note to come back here, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's a special one, I think.
Yeah, well, that's good. Well done.
And you've been inspired to go back to it yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, so when you put that list up, because you wouldn't tell me outright what was going on, I actually started to play it again myself because I felt a bit bullied. And so I think I put in another 4 hours or so since then.
Okay, that's good.
So I'm just before the third boss.
Yeah. I can't remember
That's
what
where
that
I
one
am.
is.
Some old guy.
Oh, yeah.
So I've not reached him yet, but I'm closing in. But I've got frustrated with it because there's some quite difficult, awkward platforming in there with enemies that just chuck stuff at you.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so irritating.
And you can parry that, though.
Yeah.
The projectiles, which is
But I find
handy. But jumping and parrying and landing where you need to go is
a bit button mashy. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good. Say through gritted teeth.
Yeah, well done, you. Yeah, first completion of the year, actually, that one.
Well,
It's nice. And
Well
if
done.
there's any consolation, I don't think I got the good ending, because I think there's multiple endings. But I think in order to get the good ending, you may need to I'm not trying to give you homework. I think you might need to do everything, collect everything.
that's not happening.
No, okay. So yeah, I didn't get the true ending, but it was still. There were credits. There was a conclusion. Job done. We move on.
Move on.
Yes. I think very highly of it. I think the sci-fi story was really good. It's really dark as well. You're playing as a bit of a dick. certainly like you're not like your traditional hero. He's more like, oh, am I the bad guy here? Which is always really interesting to have that sort of feeling whilst you're killing stuff, and am I on the right team here? Which is interesting. But yeah, really good. If you love a good Metroidvania, beautiful art style, amazing combat, brilliant bosses. You unlock a boss. You can basically fight all the bosses afterwards as well once you've finished it.
Oh, boss
so you can
rush.
go back and you can go back and choose bosses that you want to fight, which is nice. Because I think that's the highlight. Is those bosses are just superb. But yeah, really good. Highly recommended. 9 Sols.
I'm very happy that you could finish it, and also seethingly angry.
Well, that's where I like to keep you at. Just bubbling along that level. That's when you're at your best, I find.
Just sort of hovering around ambivalent.
Exactly. Alex, you have been playing something rather lovely as well, haven't you?
Well, I mean, I was just consulting my list, and you said that was your first completion. I've got 5 games ticked off now.
Oh, this guy. This guy.
Two of which I'd started last year, but they still count because they're now finished. So Astrobot's finally finished.
Oh, yeah.
We knew that.
Lewis were playing that together, and we got the end. Yep. And I finished Indiana Jones, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Thoroughly enjoyed. Some great set pieces in that game. It just kept getting better for me. Pacing was really good. The areas, all the different areas in the mix of open world and more linear areas worked really well. Like, there was some really spectacular action stuff in the middle, which was great. The whole game tied up really nicely for me. Like, very well done, Machine Games. Like, done a
I'm going to play that
really
tomorrow.
Good job.
I keep saying I'm going to go back to it. I've got some time that I've been allowed to do anything I want to do. I'm going to play Indiana Jones on the TV. Yeah. There you go. What else?
I've also played and finished Citizen Sleeper 2, but I can't talk about that yet. We'll talk about that soon. I'm allowed to say I've played it.
Filthy embargo breaker.
I can't tell you anything else.
I've also been playing that as well. Yeah.
I played Sociable Soccer, which is a bit like Sensible Soccer, and it's really quite fun, right? So it's like the spiritual successor to Sensible Soccer, and I'm sure it's some of the same developers that actually made it, and it's just a really nice little game for picking up and playing, like for like really quick little matches. You can do your league, and it's almost like an Ultimate Team in FIFA, but it's not quite. It's because it's just like you earn enough stars and it gives you another player, and then you want like your team to get better overall rather than like getting packs and stuff. And it's like really nice just to like jump on and play a few games, because the games take minutes. It's not like all the other games where you can be there for like 20 minutes to play a match. It's like maybe like 5 minutes, and you can, not even that I would say, and you can change it to that like classic like top down view, so you're still like playing it and things like that, and it's really well done. And I was quite surprised it was real players in it as well. I thought that was just going to be nonsense, but it's like licensed players and stuff in it, and
what, like proper teams and everything.
So it's like, well, the team names aren't necessarily there, but you know how they're supposed to be, a bit like Pro Evo used to be like. But then, like, see when they then do the acronyms for the scores, they use the right acronym. So like Rangers are like Glasgow Blue, but it's like RAN for the acronym.
Very good.
Playing it and stuff. And I would recommend that to anyone. So anyone that's got that kind of like nostalgia for your Sensible Soccer and that kind of arcadey soccer game for something a little bit like that. And I think there's a lot of social aspects to it. Like your team gets like a score, and if you've got like different friends and different platforms, you can like see how you score against them, stuff like that. I haven't really looked at any of that because I don't think there's anyone else playing it that I know.
What are you playing on?
PlayStation. So yeah, very good.
Nice. Very good.
And lastly, I haven't finished this game, but because it's not actually out yet, it's going into early access. Like, it'll be out when this podcast comes out, but it's one I've talked about on the podcast before, and it's Jotunnslayer, Hordes of Hel. So we're going on a little trip to Survivor's Corner, and this is very good. It's all based on like Norse mythology, so it's like all your your different characters, and you get one. It's been changing as the early access, even getting into the early access period. Like the build that I've had to play is like changing all the time, so it's not like I've had access to everything to be able to play it. But basically, the berserkers who I've had most of the time, and you've only been, I think, in Niflheim, or is it Jotunheim? I can't remember which one. Basically, it's like the 9 realms are the different places that you can go in that you need to unlock, and then. The way this upgrades is you can upgrade your character and get abilities for your character, or you can get god abilities in your gods. So you get abilities for Loki, you can get abilities for Thor, you get abilities for Freya. You can then unlock other gods like Odin and stuff, like more powerful abilities that you can then upgrade. And the way
is that like almost like Hades that you get like like in Hades you get boons from the Greek gods?
Yeah, it's kind of a bit like that. So it's basically like. Nice. For like Thor, you can increase like your overall power, but you can also get like lightning that will strike people. Or like for Freya, you can get this different power that will shoot out from you, or like a big sword. Or Odin's got the ravens, and the ravens will come and start kind of flying around and hit them.
Yeah,
So
it's like the doves in Vampire Survivors almost.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. But it's also. The production value in it is excellent. It's probably the best looking Survivors like I've ever played. It feels premium like this one, and it is an early access, but it feels like in so the way it's structured, it's not just survive for 15 minutes. It'll give you like different tasks to go and do like within the 15 minutes. So you have like kind of go and defeat these 2 mini bosses because you need to go and activate them, or survive the winter and all this ice will come on and you need to make sure you're not taking like too much damage to go down from the enemies, as well as that, or go and like collect all these things. So you usually get about 3, and then when you've done your 3 or 4 jobs within time, you need to go and summon the boss. So there's like a big circle in the middle, and you go and you stand in it, and then this cutscene kicks in and this big boss comes out, and it's really impressively done. And then you need to fight the boss and finish it all within the time limit, and then you unlock something else. You can power up your character, you can change the difficulty, you also unlock runes which can then you use as like different modifiers for starting the areas and things like that, so you can like have less health or increase this or do that. Very in depth, very, very good looking. I would highly recommend this, but the one thing I would say at the moment is it doesn't run perfectly on the Steam Deck. It runs fine, you can absolutely play it. There's maybe a little bit of framiness in that, but you need to give them time. I mean, it's not even out yet in early access. So by the time that actually releases next week, because they say there's patches coming all the time. So I've played it on the Steam Deck predominantly, but I have played it on my PC as well, and it looks significantly better playing it on the PC, but it's still very, very good, very, very nice.
Yeah,
highly recommended this one.
Sounds nice.
It's been on my wish list for a while actually. I can't remember when I added it, but it looks lovely.
It does. It plays it. It sounds it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll drop into the family library once it releases. So,
and it releases on the 21st, isn't it?
First, yeah.
Nice. Lovely. Keep an eye out for that one.
I think that's everything for me. That was quite a lot. I've been playing quite a lot of games. So
You've been a busy little beaver.
Yeah, that's good.
Picking up the slack for me and Lewis. And by that, I mean Lewis.
I'm trying to finish games that in the backlog, what games that I've started, because so often I talk about a game and stop playing it.
Yeah. We all do it.
So I'm still playing Sea Stars, Indiana Jones, and 9 Souls.
Perfect. No shame. There's no shame.
There we go.
Right. Should we finish off with a little game? Let's have a little game of Guess the Outro. Yeah?
Yes.
Let's do it. Right. First clue is, in fact, pick. I can either tell you who submitted this or I can give you a clue. What would you like?
Clue. I see. What do you think?
Clue?
Because who submitted it?
Well,
I'm going to give anything away.
Again, cast your mind back to the previous episode, Lewis, and you did say, next time, if it's that person, can you tell us before? Because that's a good clue. So I'm just giving you the opportunity.
Just give us a clue.
Give you a clue. Okay. Upon
This was
original
submitted by Phil.
your clue is the person who submitted this is a male. No. This was originally released as a platform exclusive.
Oh, you've taken a question away from us. A platform.
I don't think that really helps us. We could try and narrow down the platform again.
Yeah, but originally, so I would suggest it's on everything.
Not anymore, yeah.
If you try and narrow down who submitted this, that might help.
Does the person submitting this have?
Dreamcast.
Character name and title.
Should we go genres, or do you want to try and get the year?
Nah, go for genres first.
Genres. You want to reel off some genres? Is this a puzzle, an RPG, a sports game, or let's do one more? Platformer.
No.
No.
It's not going to be an indie if it's a platform exclusive, I wouldn't say. Might be, you never know.
Oh, yeah. Like, what would you consider the Ori games?
I don't know if I mean, they are kind of indies, but they were published by Xbox, so
Yeah.
it's hard to say.
And they were... I mean, we've not asked if it's an indie.
No. But we did ask if it's a platformer. But I suppose that's a Metroidvania.
It's a Metroidvania, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I add Metroidvania onto that list?
No.
But you can ask it for the next question.
I can ask it again. What are you thinking? I think we should go for date, like, as it released in the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, go with that if you want.
Ben, has this game released in the last 10 years?
Yes.
Now, did I leave open to interpretation there by how I asked that question? Because I went, has it released in the last 10 years? And you kind of went, and you had a little think. So, was it originally released out with 10 years ago? Or was Ben just trying to remember what year it was?
I think Ben was just trying to remember what year it is. Yeah. Did this originally release on the Xbox as an exclusive?
No.
So it's not Ori.
Not Ori.
Question 4.
Another game, it's got to have a good soundtrack.
Could be like God of War or something. And then released in PC.
But let's hope it's a good game. Is it a game that any of us have played? Have we three played this game? Or have any one of us played this game?
Yes.
Alright, what one?
Is that 5?
You're on question 5 now.
Was that PlayStation exclusive?
Yes. It was a PlayStation exclusive.
PlayStation exclusive in the last 10 years.
Okay, and your clue is it in fact celebrates its 10-year anniversary this year.
Wow. It came out in 2015.
The Last of Us?
Before then. That was before as well.
It's The Last of Us.
Is that like 2013? The PS3 game.
Should we try and work out which studio?
Reel off. You're good at studio names. I don't know any.
So you've got... I mean, so it's... what year... Was it 2014 that PS4 came out?
I don't know. That feels late.
I feel like it's a PS4 game. It must be a PS4 game.
What about like... When did The Last Guardian come out?
And that could have been about then. What would you class that game as?
Don't know. But it wasn't very well received, as I seem to remember. Who developed it?
Don't know.
Because they come off the back of quite a big success, I'm sure.
Was that PlayStation? Was that Japan Studios? No, was it?
Let me Google it.
So, I mean, it's not... God of War was 2018, and they didn't really... Like, Santa Monica didn't do a lot before that. It could be something like Last Guardian. Could be something like one of the Uncharted games.
Mm.
So it could be like Uncharted 3 or 4. 4 wasn't as long ago as that, I don't think, and they've remastered that recently, but I don't think it was as long, but it could have been. I suppose we'll see if it was a Naughty Dog. We'll try Naughty Dog and see.
Yeah.
Is it a Naughty Dog game?
No.
No, so that takes Uncharted and all that out.
Yeah.
I think it could be, this could be a Mark one, and it could be like The Last Guardian or something.
In this game, does a large animal / creature play a big part?
No. No.
I'm trying to think what else would be celebrating its 10th anniversary.
Question 8. That's not a clue. You've just got the God of War theme in my head.
When did Dark Souls release?
Or Bloodborne.
Oh, that might be. Has that released on anything else though?
No, that's never touched.
You want to ask if it's a... What's the number question, man?
8.
Did you just ask if it's a FromSoft game?
Yeah.
Or should we add more to that? Yeah,
No, I
fuck it.
think...
Is it a FromSoft game, Ben?
No, not a FromSoft game.
Dingleberries. Could it be?
Question 9.
I'm trying to think of like kind of early PlayStation 4 games, and I'm like stuff like Infamous, Second Son, and things like that. And like, so you've got Sucker Punch and you've got Insomniac. So wonder, did Ratchet and Clank not come out in 2015?
Rat shit and wank. No idea.
But you said platformer, and that's more of a... Or is that a platformer? Because Ben always classes that as a cover shooter.
Famously.
Yeah.
Always. I can't show up.
Would you...
It's not a platformer.
Ratchet
It's
Clank
like Gears of
is-
War with cartoons. Yeah. That's me.
So we just try other studios and then see what the last clue is.
Yeah.
Is this made by Sucker Punch?
No, it's not made by Sucker Punch.
What do you think?
Is this question 10 now?
Yep. Question 10.
Oh, that could be Reese putting like a VR game. Was that made by London Studios?
Is that question 10?
Yeah, just go for it and then we can get a clue if you need it.
No, it's not London Studios.
Right. Oh, it could be like... No, because that's a platformer. Right, so that's 10, isn't it?
Aye.
So what's the
Okay.
last clue?
Last clue is this is the 6th numbered release in this franchise.
Numbered release. So does that mean that there's a 6 in its name somewhere? Tomb Raider? Not that one. Is that Andrew?
The only one I could think of it would be with Tekken 6. I know Street Fighter 5. Oh, could it be Street Fighter 5? Because that was but they would had like it would be the 6 numbered release, but they had so many like 2 numbered release with like 2 turbos and all that it's not actually number 6. And Street Fighter 5 came out as a PlayStation exclusive. Because that was the big issue with it, because it didn't get sales because it was exclusive.
Just go for it.
Is it Street Fighter 5?
It is not Street Fighter 5, unfortunately.
Is it Tekken 6?
it's not Tekken 6 either. No. I'm afraid.
What is it then?
You're going to kick yourself, Alex. It's a game that you've played.
Yakuza 6. Song of Life.
Not Yakuza 6. It's the 6th numbered release in the Yakuza series. But not Yakuza 6. But it was the 6th one to come out.
Or Yakuza 5.
You've played it recently.
Yakuza 0.
Yakuza 0.
Oh.
I see these numbered quite what was the sex release? You've done with this before. When we were at yours, you basically spat in our face by saying it's the 3rd release or whatever it was. And
It was Red Dead Redemption 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The third release in this franchise. No,
You
but
can't
this is...
do that.
I'm not... Am I lying? It's the 6th numbered release. And they're even putting number in
that's
there. It's a bit of a clue.
I think you're leaving that open to interpretation because was there not
obviously.
Street Fighter 4, Mega Part 3 and all that? That's all numbered releases.
Yep. This was originally released as a platform exclusive.
That's fair enough.
It's a good clue. Celebrates 10-year anniversary this year.
Pretty
in March.
rubbish clue, right?
Well, and then, 6th numbered release in the franchise. I think. So now you know it's got a number in it.
Yeah.
So
There's only a few games that have numbers in them.
all the pieces
Did he
were there.
submit it? Or did Hopper
No.
submit it?
It was Hopple.
Hopple.
Yeah. So it might have
That
helped
would
you.
have helped because I think that would have helped.
I was trying to steer you in that direction, but you would not be steered. You
Oh well, at least we get some good music.
do get some music. In fact, the music is, and Hopple chose the music, and he actually helped with some of the clues as well. So, blame Hopple. But the song is I think it's pronounced Baka Mitai, and it's I don't know at what point in the game this comes on, but it sounds like a really heartbroken love ballad almost. Like it's really
That could
just
be near the end. To be
right. Yeah, it sounds it's very cool, very Japanese as you would expect from a Yakuza game. But it's good. Thank you, Hopple, for submitting that.
Yes, thank you.
very much.
Great choice. Well done for
Well done.
stamping them. Good. That's 2 in a row now, isn't it? You guys
Yeah,
have
we're on a run.
flummoxed. But yeah, really good. Good choice. And that is from Yakuza 0.
バカみたい子供なのね夢を追って傷ついて嘘が下手なくせに笑えない笑顔を見せた I love you もろくに言わない口下手でほんまに不器用なのにどうしてさよならは言えたのダメだねダメよダメなのよあんたが好きで好きすぎてどれだけ強いお酒でも歪まない思い出が